Good morning. It is Friday, April the 11th, 2025. Beautiful start here in north central Wisconsin. The sun is back. Lots of blue skies, sunny conditions. Temperature stands at 34 degrees. I am Chad Holmes. It is the Friday edition of the Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO. And on the Civic Media app. You can also join us at YouTube. Go to youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel on that app. Be able to see a video stream of what we're up to. And also, if you've missed any of the programs, you can also see previous videos on the 98.9 WXCO channel as well. Coming up this morning in about 13 minutes or so, we'll be joined by meteorologist Brittney Merlot. Yep, it's a good start here on this Friday, and it looks like we're going to get into the weekend fairly nicely as well. A dose of some spring weather. So we'll talk about that. The weekend weather forecast with Brittney Merlot coming up at 8:21 this morning. Then after an information update at the bottom of the hour at 8:34, we'll be talking sports with Mike Clemens. Mike is our Civic Media and 98.9 WXCO sports reporter, and we'll be talking about an interesting time here in sports because we're getting to the end of the NBA season. The Bucks have 2 games remaining in the regular season, both significant games against Detroit to determine playoff seeding, which begins next week. So we'll talk about the Bucks with Mike Clemens. We'll talk about the Brewers, who have played some pretty good baseball since starting off 0-4. The Masters Golf Tournament is going on down in Augusta, Georgia. Packers tailgate tour is wrapping up, and Badgers spring football practice. I mean, we're going to be talking some football because, of course, here in Wisconsin in the next number of weeks, the NFL draft is coming. So a lot of folks will be coming in. I think that you're going to see people getting hotel rooms, not just in Green Bay, but spread pretty far out, and that some of the economic impact could actually get towards central Wisconsin as well. So nice. We will talk about all that with Mike Clemens at 8:34. Then in the second hour of the program, we will be joined by Paul Michlig. He's back with us this week and talking about some Wisconsin sports as well. Try to head into the weekend talking about some sports activities. And then our final segment, of course, is our daily history lesson. We'll be talking about some of the famous events that have occurred on this date in history. We'll talk about some of the celebrity birthdays that are going on today, here on the 11th of April. We will discuss some of the famous events that are happening today. And then everybody, I'm sure, is ready because it is a big day with our number for the day quiz.
Yes, it is. Very big day.
Every day at about 9:55, 9:56 or so, we have our number for the day. And we make it a quiz for Ian. And there's 3 choices for the number for the day. So, obviously it's not easy to get it right because you have 2 wrong answers and 1 right. And it's really not usually an obvious answer. It's in a lot of ways a guess. So based on the math, if you get 1 out of 3 right, that's good. That's average. And if you get better than 33%, that's a passing grade. If you're below 33%, it's a failing grade.
Yeah.
Then,
Want that.
but then if you get more right than wrong, say in a normal work week, you get 3 out of 5, so 3 right and 2 wrong. That's a winning week. And that's definitely a very good week because,
Yes,
again, it's not easy. Up to this point, your best week has been 4 out of 5. You've done that previously 3 times.
I have.
And you've yet to have a perfect week. Never have gone 5 out of 5.
No.
But today we can change that.
Today's the big day.
Yep,
Yeah.
you got it right on Monday.
Yes.
You got it right on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
You got it right on Wednesday. And then yesterday you knew how many folks perished in the Titanic.
Yeah.
So you got it right on Thursday. So 4 out of 4. At the very worst, you have matched your best ever week, which would be for the 4th time. But if you get it right, then it is truly a historic day.
Yes, it is.
It would be 5 out of 5. Perfect week.
For the first time.
So we will do that at the end of the show. In the first segment of the second hour, I will let you know what the topic is for today, so you can do a little thinking about it. And then we'll do the quiz to wrap it up at the end of the show. So I know that everybody is looking forward to it. Last night,
my family is really excited.
last night, I was over at the Marathon County Democratic Party meeting. Talk about this in just a moment, but one of the folks there, Terry, who actually won the Chula Vista earlier in the week, when Bob gave that Brewers Braves trivia question, he mentioned today being, big day for the number for the day quiz. Aww. So people are out there. They're listening. They're rooting for you, and hopefully you'll be able to do something special at the end of the show. So
I really got to stay focused. Because now the pressure of having a losing week is taken off. And now it's being replaced by the pressure of getting a perfect week. Because I've already got a passing week. I've gotten a successful week. I matched my record. And now I got to go for that top tier on the ladder. I got to get with a 5 out of 5 to, complete the number of the day quiz, a ladder of success. So it's a lot of pressure, but it's exciting too.
It is exciting. So we'll do that at the very end of the show. Otherwise, good morning. I mean, we've already introduced you kind of. That's Ian Welsh, our in-studio engineer and our in-studio producer. Good morning again.
Good morning, Chad.
So any plans for the weekend other than hopefully having a big celebration on having a perfect week for the number for the day?
Let's see. Well, along with getting out outside and enjoying the beautiful weather, I'm actually hoping to go out and see the Enchanted Bookshop musical this weekend. I'm thinking I'll either do it a Saturday evening or maybe a Sunday afternoon. But I'll be sure I definitely go to it.
Yeah, that's a good point because as we well know, because we've had plenty of folks come through here the last couple of weeks, that this weekend is a very busy week for the theatrical productions. You said
yes, it is.
Enchanted Bookshop musical with the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater over at the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point at Wausau Vinegar Theater. Over at DC Everest, they have All Shook Up.
Yeah,
that's
a great show.
Yeah, so that should be a good one. You can go check out. And also at Wausau East, the East End Players are also involved this weekend. The East End Players are having a special production of Hadestown Teen Edition. So, so if you are somebody that loves the theater, and the thing about it, it's not just that these groups and these young people, they're all young people, obviously, with the 2 high schools and the children's theater. Not only are they, performing, they're also doing incredible work. And,
yes.
I mean, really, the talent that is involved in these productions, I really do not think that you would be disappointed. I went last weekend to Wausau West to see their production of All My Sons, and I'm hoping, and I haven't even decided which one I would go to here this weekend yet, because unfortunately I'm a little bit busy because today. I would like to try to get there today, but I don't think I'm going to be able to because actually there's really no way because I have high school softball with Marathon today. Marathon takes on Rib Lake at 4:45 first pitch, and
that's understandable.
So I'm not able to get to the show. I would love to go tonight again. Then tomorrow I have again Wausau West baseball at 11 a.m. and maybe I could be able to get to a 2:00 matinee tomorrow. We have to wait and see. It depends on the length of the game. Tomorrow night I am involved at the Newman Catholic High School has their annual big athletic fundraiser, Cabin Fever. I've been doing that for many years. Nice. So tomorrow night we're doing that. So perhaps Sunday. I mean, that may be the only time and I can't see all three on Sunday. So it's like I have to make a decision and very important decision. So, but no, absolutely. That's a really good reminder for folks to check out, whether it's at DC Everest or Wausau East or with the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater. Support these young people. Really do so. That would be fantastic.
It really means the world to them.
And also wanted to mention, as I said just a few moments ago last night, want to thank the Marathon County Democratic Party. They invited myself and our owner and CEO, Sage Weil, to speak at their monthly meeting. And got in front. I was there in person. Sage came on via Zoom, and Sage had a very complete presentation. He had slides and everything. So he's always very prepared. He is. You can see why he's been so successful in everything he's done in his life. He's been in technology and now in radio, but it was very interesting. And he finished up, and I said afterwards, I said, to the people, I said, whenever he gets up there and talks about, communicating and the best way of communicating in terms of trying to reach the people out there, I realize how far I still have to go because sometimes I get a little bit ornery in front of the microphone but no, that's not the way to bring people over to your side in terms of trying to have them think about some of these issues. But thanks to Nancy Stencil, of course, the chair of the Democratic Party here in Marathon County, and everybody else for inviting us. It was a lot of fun to be there and to talk to some of the folks and be part of that last evening.
Wonderful.
The time is 8:18. It is a beautiful start here in Central Wisconsin at our downtown studios here in Wausau, at the corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street. The sun is shining and the temperature stands at 34 degrees. And we're going to find out about our weekend forecast coming up next. We'll be talking to meteorologist Brittney Merlot. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
Good morning, Brittney.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing wonderful. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. It's not very windy. It's a good start to the weekend.
I agree.
You got any outdoor plans for this weekend?
No, not really. I'll do something. I'll go hike somewhere. I'll find something.
shine. Because you will not believe your eyes. She's right here behind the glass. You're gonna like her, cause she's got class. You can look inside another.
Champ Home Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Again, you can join us as well on YouTube, youtube.com. Go to youtube.com and then the 98.9 WXCO channel. Be able to see a video stream. And you can join us by calling or texting at 715-382-9297. That's 715-382-9297 to join the program. So again, feel free as we get things underway here on this Friday morning. It is a terrific start weather-wise for the first time in a number of days. Looking out onto the Washington Street, as we are at the corner of Washington and North 3rd Street here in downtown Wausau, and plenty of sunshine out there. You see some of the blue skies out there as well, and a really great start to our Friday. To talk a little bit about what to expect for the rest of today and then into the weekend, it's our meteorologist, Brittney Merlot. And Brittney, good morning.
Good morning. I don't even see a cloud out there. It's so bright and beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yay. Good start to a Friday, right?
Yeah, clear as a bell out there. And it does make the day start better, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does. I've got a smile all over my face. I've got a lot of energy. I can't wait to be done with work and get outside and soak up that sunshine. Woo!
I imagine you already have the list made in terms of what you're going to be doing to take advantage of this kind of weather.
You'd think, but no, I have no list at all. I'm just going to go outside. We'll see where I wind up, wherever the wind blows me.
There you go. There you go. But we've been waiting a few days. It's been kind of a dreary week up to this point, hasn't it?
Oh, it sure has. I mean, that's the definition of dreary, with fog, mist, rain, cloudy skies, cooler temperatures, blah. Now we're changing the things. We're going into those mid-50s today, where we should be. That's our seasonal highs for about right now. And then we're going to get even warmer tomorrow into the low 60s. And we're going to see some clouds increasing at night, because we're going to be stuck under mostly cloudy skies on Sunday. But it's going to be a little bit more chance of rain rolling in. A thunderstorm is possible on Sunday, nothing severe. And then we kind of look damp and wet as we go into Monday, too, with mostly cloudy skies and cooler temperatures, windy as well. So a big system kind of hitting Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday before that thing clears and leaves us alone. But it is the thing that's warming us up. So that's why we're getting to the mid-50s today, low 60s tomorrow. We'll hang on to the low 60s on Sunday, but it won't be as pretty. And then we fall to the low 50s as we go into Monday. So cooler start to the week, but I promise you we will rebound midweek and for the weekend. And as I look ahead for the following week, just want to get the hopes up. We are looking at some 70s.
Yeah, real dry out then, because obviously, you know, we still have that need to dry things out. And if you say it, sounds like is it going to be significant rain as we get to the end of the weekend and then the start of the new week, or is it sort of hit and miss?
I think it's going to be more of a hit or miss kind of thing. Scattered showers, scattered storms. It's not going to be a widespread douser or anything like that, but definitely hit or miss.
But that's good, because I know that I know the folks, myself, who have the golf clubs in the garage, wanting to get out there and start to take advantage of it, and also not to have to be sloshing through it. Because when it's still wet out there, it gets so miserable when you're sloshing through, where you take a step and you feel the water just sort of sink into your shoes and all that stuff. And we need a good dry out, and we need some significant sunshine and warm temperatures. But it sounds like as we get closer to the end of the month, that's when we're going to really expect that.
Yeah. I mean, April showers bring May flowers, so your soggy, stinky feet are keep them away from me. No, just kidding.
April showers. I had not heard that in a while, but that's something that. Yep, you're exactly right. Is it this month as well, where it's like, if April goes out like a line, or is that March going into April? Goes out.
Oh, I never knew that one. I think that one's March. I don't know.
Yeah, if it goes out like a lion, but in like a, or
in like a lamb. Who knows?
I have to look that up now.
Out like a lion and in like a lamb.
Okay, there you go. Ian, I can always bail me out here, but
I'll have to double check on that later.
And the thing about this morning as well is it is calm. We've had so many days where the wind, I can see the tree that's in front of our studio. So it's almost bending. It was always so windy. Today it's very calm, and you love seeing that too.
Yes, yes, yes. That's the one thing that's going to make today better than the rest of the weekend is the calm winds. We do start to get a little breezy as we push in tomorrow, and then windy Sunday and Monday before those winds start to calm down. So I agree with you. It is a better day today with the calmer winds, finally. Oh, and if you are headed out, maybe you want to do some kayaking early season or boating or something, or you want to throw the line in, be careful of the cold water out there. Just because the temperatures out in the air are getting warmer now, that water is still frigid. And if you fall in, you've only got a little bit of time. You can get hypothermia very, very fast. Plus, we've got all those trees down and tree debris from that ice storm. So a lot of those rivers have debris in there and strong, strong currents too. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be careful and pay extra attention.
Absolutely. Well, what are the details for this weekend forecast?
Beautiful, beautiful until Sunday. Partly sunny today, highs hitting 55 degrees, increasing clouds throughout the day tomorrow. We will still see sunshine though, and highs will breach those low 60s at a high of about 62. Sunday, we slide to 61 degrees. It'll be mostly cloudy, breezy, chance of rain rolling through and a thunderstorm or two. And those spotty shower chances do linger with us into our Monday. It'll be mostly cloudy, becoming partly cloudy by the end of the day, with highs in those low 50s.
All righty then. So gonna get out there. We're gonna enjoy it today and tomorrow.
Yay.
Man, it's much needed. That's the bottom line. Much
For
needed
sure.
indeed. Well, you get out there, enjoy it, because I shouldn't even say that because I know you will.
Yep.
I don't need to tell you that. I'm gonna tell
You get
everybody
out there and enjoy it.
exactly. That's exactly right. Well, Brittney, thanks again. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday.
You
Bye,
too.
Brittany.
Bye.
That's our Brittney Merlot, meteorologist, joins us every weekday at 8:21 right here on 98.9 WXCO. Fair skies, 34 degrees right now in downtown Wausau. Winds out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Wind chill factor of 29. Dew point is 30, so a relative humidity of 85%. Barometer 30.26 inches, and visibility is 8 miles. Coming up, an information update, news, weather, sports, entertainment, all in one tidy package. That's straight ahead. And then right after that, we're going to talk busy sports time with Civic Media sports reporter Mike Clemens. That's straight ahead. The time is almost 8:29. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
Strange voices are saying, what did they say? Things I can't understand. It's too close to comfort. This heat has got right out of hand. It's a cruel, cruel, cruel summer.
You are overwhelmingly elected. You are overwhelmingly
ready to go. Ready to go.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. And again, join us on YouTube, youtube.com, and the 98.9 WXCO channel on YouTube as well. As we do every Friday morning here at 8:34, we are happy to welcome in our Civic Media and 98.9 WXCO sports reporter, Mike Clemens. Mike, good morning.
Good morning. Good bump back music.
Hey, we're ready to go.
Wow, that's a good one.
There you go.
How are you?
Doing great. And great time. I mean, the sun is shining here in downtown Wausau. I get to broadcast a high school game this afternoon. I tell you, it doesn't get much better than that. So we are lucky to be around sports a lot, aren't we, Mike?
Oh, yeah, we are. We are. And good stories. And, and things are going pretty good for the state of Wisconsin in terms of the way these teams are looking right now. Bucks with a nice win last night, huh?
Hey, before we talk about last night, what about that win against Minnesota? Have you ever seen a better comeback against a good basketball team? I mean, that game was done, and they came back and erased a 24-point deficit with just over 10 minutes to go. I mean, you would think if there was a game that could maybe spark a team for a little bit, that would be the kind of win that would.
And you know what Kevin Porter Jr. said to us afterwards? He said, you know what kind of who got us in line? Bobby Portis. It's like he's there keeping it light. Like, hey, this is where you find out if we're a playoff team or not. Okay? We can take these guys. You guys know it. We can take these guys. Settle down. Start taking shots. And they did. And they were down 24 points. Ended up winning the game. And the other thing too is, what Doc Rivers said, our fans didn't leave. They stayed. They stayed through the fourth quarter, and they got into it. And they got into that run, and he credited the fans for not leaving and staying there and willing that thing to happen, winning at home like that. That's what home advantage is all about. And that was kind of a turning point. A real shot to the arm for those guys.
Absolutely. And then they were able to take care of business last night, now 46-34 with those two games against Detroit to wrap up the regular season. I should know this, but do these games, if Detroit wins both, does Detroit get the tiebreaker?
Yeah, Doc Rivers. So they beat the Pelicans last night. They went back and forth with New Orleans, but then New Orleans is shorthanded. They got 4 or 5 starters out with injury, and they literally ran out of gas. Bucks put it into high gear. Giannis leaves in the fourth quarter to rest him, 28 points. You can see other players leaving the court and going right into the locker room, and we're joking like they're already getting ready for Detroit. And no, when we get to the press conference, Doc Rivers says, "I'll tell you right now, none of y'all are going to get in. The locker room is going to be empty because they're getting treatments and they're getting on the plane. We'll bring you a player here to the press conference, but we're getting out of here because we got to focus on Detroit next." And that's exactly what was going on. So, 136-111, they win. They were able to rest a lot of the guys, empty the bench. And now tonight, after flying and getting to Detroit 2 or 3 in the morning, they play tonight at 6 o'clock our time. And then the schedulers, they finish the season on Sunday against the Pistons coming to Milwaukee. And if the Bucks win one of those 2 games, then they will lock in the 5th seed, and then they would likely play the Pacers, maybe the Knicks, in the first round of the postgame, as opposed to have to go up higher and have to deal with, the Cavaliers or Boston or somebody like that.
Well, interesting aspect looking ahead already. If it is Milwaukee and Indiana, Pacers have won 6 in a row, Bucks have won 6 in a row. You don't see that very often in the middle of the pack when you go into the playoffs.
No, that would be a great series. And those teams don't like each other.
No, they don't.
I mean, they do not like each other. No, not at all. People talking about is Dame going to be there?
Yeah.
For the postseason, and you see him there on the bench, and you see him walking around. But like talking to one of the guys that's part of the organization, he's like, it's medical, man. This is a blood clot. I mean, they got it in time. Fortunately they picked it up in the imaging. You've got that pain. It's really kind of a reminder to us all. If you've got that kind of a lingering pain like that, you got to get this checked out, because it turns out to be a blood clot. And if that thing can be released, it could be life threatening.
Right.
So he's on the blood thinners. The treatments, I was checking out. They do some of these in Madison and other places around the area. But whether or not he's going to get clearance from the doctors to play again this season, it's 50-50. Doc says he's getting reports like this is encouraging, that's encouraging, but whether or not he's actually able to get back for this postseason, it looks like it's still 50-50.
Brewers playing pretty good baseball yesterday. Obviously, a little bump in the road, but this still was a good series. Anytime you go on the road, you win 2 out of 3. That's still a good series. Brewers over 500. They continue that road trek in Arizona tonight, but they've bounced back really nicely after that 0-4 start.
Yeah, well, first of all, they win the other night 17-2.
Yeah.
I tweeted that out. I said, this is not a typo. I mean, everybody connecting. Yelich getting a home run, Contreras, and Jackson Chourio. Oh, my gosh. To go from 5 strikeouts on opening day in New York, in the Bronx against the Yankees. And then, you get in the office with Murphy before a game, and he just talks about the kid's, background from Venezuela. He said, good parents must be. He said, because he's so solid. He just turned 21 last month, and he can shake off something like that, settle in, listen to his coaches, maybe change this or that in the approach, work a little harder, get in a little earlier, and then just turn into a hitting machine. I think he's got 12 games in a row with a hit, and he's like practically hitting for the cycle and making clutch hits as well. So, he's off to now a great start. And then, the bright spot, even though they ended up losing, they gave up 5 runs. The old Piamps let them, start connecting, and the Rockies were due to finally start making some contact. They put up 5 runs in the 8th, and they end up winning 7-2. But the Brewers, they win their first series at Coors Field since May of 2018. It's been a tough place to play. And this Quinn Priester was the starter.
Yep.
And he lasted 5 innings and only gave up 1 earned run. That's the kid that they just picked up, 24 years old, right-hander, in that trade on Monday with the Red Sox. So, he arrives in Milwaukee, gets on the team plane, goes out there, and they put him out there on the mound. And they're so short-handed, but that worked out pretty good for him, right?
That Brewers pitching magic. Do you bring them in? And those the Brewers pitching staff seems to have that little bit of magic. They've shown it over the last number of years, haven't they?
I mean, the minute they can get that uniform to fit on you, you're out there on the mound.
And by the way, Jackson Chourio is only 44 games away now from Joe DiMaggio's record, so we got to keep an eye on that.
Right. Well, he did something the other night that puts him in with Mickey Mantle and Al Kaline and Eddie Matthews with the amount of hits he's had and RBIs in over 3 games. It was RBIs in over 3 games. I mean, that's pretty good company.
Yeah. When I heard Eddie Matthews, and that's the old timers around Wisconsin, Milwaukee, anytime you get connected with Eddie Matthews, people perk up.
My heart is pounding. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Masters going on, and I want to start off. I mean, man, oh man, how about that 65-year-old Freddie Couples?
Yeah, see that. I mean, so Justin Love, Rory McIlroy had one that zipped across those extremely fast greens at Augusta, and up a little over the green, and then over the curb, and then down the hill, kerplunk into the water, right? Like a double bogey or so. Justin Love out of England is -7 atop the leaderboard when they tee off this morning for round 2. But yeah, Freddie Couples, he's 65 now. 60. That's what's so great about the Masters. They bring back those former winners like that. He's on the 14th. It's a par 4. Gets out the wedge, 191 yards, lands on the green, zips across the green, boom, into the cup, gets an eagle. Like, yes. Yes. There's still hope for us,
Yeah, he was under par yesterday. I mean, pretty amazing. I mean, within shouting distance of shooting your age at Augusta National, which is just insane.
In the hole, yeah.
Packers, obviously the month of April is a huge month for the Green Bay, the Packers, and with the NFL draft coming, but their tailgate tour is going around the state, and I heard a report talking about Mark Murphy's last go around as the CEO of the Packers, and what are you hearing? What's going on with the tailgate tour?
He's been doing it 17 years. He assures everybody that when Ed Policy takes over this summer, that they'll continue that. They've been doing it 19 years, and Mark is really good at it. I mean, he comes out and he grabs the microphone, and he's as good as any lounge act out in Vegas, making jokes, taking questions from the audience, working the crowd, and emceeing those things. And so, like, former players are there, like Amon Green, the running back, or the left guard, Marco Rivera. It was good to see him. And then Lucas Van Ness, the defensive end, was there, along with Tucker Kraft, the tight end. So, these young players getting a chance to go out and get to know the state a little bit better, get to know the fans and everything. And then Lucas, I think you're going to see some writers come up with this story. Last December, and I think I talked about this on the show, microphone away and trying to build a relationship. And I said, like a month ago, you had to leave the game, and then did you come back in, but you were listed with a thumb injury? He goes, yeah. So then it's like, you get the sense, like, keep this on the down low until I can get through these next couple of games in December. But he shows you his hand. He's like, I broke a bone right here. And then he starts naming off which bones and which ligament and all that kind of stuff. And then he had to play a couple of weeks and, wrapped up. And then he re-injured it again. It got caught on a guy. Like, oh, you can't imagine the pain. But it's like, and he says, well, I'm not making any excuses. And I go, yeah, don't worry about excuses. I'm just looking for reasons. But can you imagine trying to push a refrigerator around with one hand, right?
Right.
I mean, so when people wonder why, he's getting back-to-back games with a sack, and then all of a sudden there's that drop-off, he's still out there playing, with one hand and taken away from his best push hand after suffering that thumb injury. So a little thing like that can bring those guys down, or like a toe injury for Kenny Clark.
Right.
Telling us about that as well. Kenny was in Panama City getting stem cell treatment at a place they found out called Origin. Some of these stuff is not FDA approved, so they got to go out of the country to get it.
It shows what a thin line
to get back in the field.
Yeah, it shows what a thin line it is between success and failure when you get to the top levels of the National Football League, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And then finally, Badgers and spring football practice. And I imagine right now, every moment that Luke Fickell and the staff have with these players after what happened last year, and obviously the pressure and another tough schedule this year, vitally important.
Oh, and all the new players, too. And a new quarterback. There's Billy Edwards Jr., a transfer from Maryland. The two quarterbacks from last year transferred out of Madison. And so he's learning the offense. And, Luke said, I wonder if the spring practices are even more important because it's the first introduction to the playbook and to get these guys sort of a feel for each other before they get to their fall camp. So, he's looking pretty good. They had a good session the other day that was open to the media with the tight ends. And then there was a question about their corners, but they got two of their so-called veterans back, like Rico Hallman. They're excited that he decided to come back to Madison and play another season. So at least they've got a little bit of experience, but they're a little short at experience on the corners on defense.
Yeah, man, it never slows down, does it? we went through a lot here. I mean,
hey, listen, we're really lucky in Wisconsin, man. Between the way the Brewers are playing and the Bucks are still, in it, year after year, and Giannis makes all the difference there, right?
Oh.
A superstar like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but by this time next week, we'll be talking about some playoff basketball. So, exciting times, and the draft coming up. Just great stuff.
And then the draft is 2 weeks from this week.
Yeah, just craziness. But Mike is on top of it. Mike, again, thanks a lot. I know you're so busy, but thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
Have a good weekend, Chad. Thank you.
Mike Clemens, our 98.9 WXCO and Civic Media sports reporter. We'll be back in just a moment. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
In the air, the wind is taking me everywhere. Yeah. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? You are terrified by the smallest sound, because you live your life in such a sheltered world. As do those who surround
Channel Show 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app and at YouTube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel on YouTube. 38 degrees and sunny skies here in downtown Wausau. You can join us by calling or texting at 715-382-9297. That's 715-382-9297 to be part of the program. Don't forget that today, later this afternoon, we have high school softball. Our first spring sports broadcast of the Marathon Red Raiders. We cover Wausau West, Newman Catholic, and Marathon High School athletics. And so far, we've had 3 softball broadcasts with Wausau West up to this point. But today, I'll be heading over to Marathon, see the Marathon Red Raiders. They will be in action against Rib Lake. I'll be on the air with the pregame show at 4:35 and the first pitch at 4:45 right here on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. And then tomorrow, early start, 10:50 a.m. for the pregame, 11 a.m. for the first pitch. The Wausau West baseball team get a chance to see the Warrior baseball team for the first time. In fact, they open up their season later today. They head to Oshkosh for a doubleheader, but then they are back home tomorrow morning against Menominee. And again, 10:50 airtime on 98.9 WXCO. WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. Well, it's been a crazy week with the markets.
Yeah.
Down, down, up, down, down.
It's a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster indeed. And, it's been maybe a little bit of a tough week for President Donald Trump. And, when you're feeling a little bit down, and maybe Don was feeling a little bit down, bring in your buddies or your sycophants to say nice things about you. And Donald decided, hey, I need a little bucking up here. So he held a cabinet meeting yesterday.
Okay.
And what happens at Donald Trump cabinet meetings, and we've noticed this in the first term and now so far in the second term, Donald likes to go around the table and have people say wonderful things about Donald Trump. And that happened again yesterday. And here's a short little snippet. This is not even everything. This is just a short little piece of what some of the cabinet secretaries were saying to Donald Trump yesterday at the cabinet meeting in the Oval Office.
You were overwhelmingly elected by the biggest majority. The U.S. Americans want you to be president because of your agenda.
Mr. President, on behalf of America's manufacturers, I want to thank you for standing up to the Chinese Communist Party and fighting for our Main Streets, for our workers. So the American worker is grateful. Main Street is grateful for you.
What you have assembled in your vision is a turning point and an inflection point in American history. And so just being a part of that is the greatest honor. So thank you for that.
Oh, man, it makes you want to throw up. I mean, the first person was the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, saying that this was the biggest election victory. That is a lie. It was a close election. I mean, the idea it was some sort of landslide. I mean, give me a break and talk about inflection points and this incredible vision that he has. I mean, you just talk about
people voted for you because of your agenda. Well,
but the kissing of the butt is, I mean, at some point, doesn't even Donald think, I mean, this is getting a little bit too much, but that's not the case. He just loves the fact that all these folks keep on saying what wonderful vision and what a wonderful president this guy is on a week where he personally tanked the markets. Yeah. And then he personally flip-flop because he saw it was going so poorly, and then he needed to have all these folks come in and say all these wonderful things about dear leader. I mean, that's the thing about it as well. He has this need to be treated like royalty, like a king. That's not the way we do things in the United States of America, is it? I didn't think. I mean,
Well, it shouldn't be about grooming. It should be about, taking responsibility for your action and good and bad. And honestly, I think that pausing the tariffs for a little while is probably one of the a few smartest moves he's made in a while.
and the thing about it is, it's not a complete pause. There's still the 10% increase. So the
Yeah.
tariff increase has occurred, and it's still occurring, and it's still going to cause some issues. But the only reason that he did this, that he stopped it, is because he saw that the bond market and other markets were just falling apart. And the idea, what he was trying to accomplish, was failing miserably. And I think that has to be reminded that this is a case of Trump failing miserably this week. That is the headline of the week. Trump fails and Trump backs away. And we'll see. And he's done that like 4 or 5 times already when it's come to tariffs. I mean, why would anybody listen? He's like Lucy in the football. It's like, oh, going to pull it away again. And, just a very interesting week. But I just chuckled when I heard those clips last night when I got home. It's like, holy cow, this guy needs to be stroked at all times, and it's just ridiculous. But
it was the exact opposite of a celebrity roast.
That's exactly right. Hey, we got another hour to go. Hey, we got a big hour to go.
Yes.
We're about an hour away to see whether or not Ian Welsh is able to have a perfect 5 for 5 week when it comes to the number for the day quiz. So I know everybody's on the edge of their seat. They're ready. And we're coming up in the next segment. We're going to find out what the topic is for the number for the day quiz. So plus we'll have Paul Michlig join us at 9:21. Top of the hour, 8:58. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
All I need is a TV show, that and the radio. Down on my luck again, down on my luck again. I can show you some of the people in my life. I can show you some of the people in my life. It's driving me mad. Just another way of passing the day.
Good morning. It is Friday, April the 11th of 2025. Beautiful start here in downtown Wausau. We are live from our WXCO studios at the corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street. The sun continues to shine, just blue skies everywhere you look. Temperature continues to rise as well. We are now at 40 degrees. I am Chad Holmes. It is the Friday edition of the Chad Holmes Show. 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Coming up in just a few minutes at 9:21, we'll be joined in studio by Paul Michlig, the Newman Catholic High School football and track and field coach and athletic director. Talk a bit about what's going on in sports here in Wisconsin as we head towards another weekend. That's coming up in about 13 minutes or so. Then coming up at the end of the program, we'll have our daily history lesson. We'll talk about some of the famous events that have occurred on this date in history. Also about some of the celebrity birthdays and special events being acknowledged today. And then in the final moments of the program, as we do each and every weekday, we will have our daily history lesson, the final moments to give Ian Welsh a quiz, our number for the day quiz.
That's right.
And basically what we do is we have a number for the day, and I give Ian a quiz on it. There's 3 choices, one of which is our number for the day, and 2 are incorrect answers. So that's basically 33% chance you'll get it right. 1 out of 3. Not easy, because most of these numbers for the day, it's a kind of a guess.
It has been a challenge.
And to be able to get it right one day in a row is hard.
Yeah.
But anything above 33% for a week is a passing grade. Anything below 33% for the week is a failing grade. But then if he gets more right than wrong, we call it a winning week, 3 out of 5. So far, his best has been 4 out of 5. He's done that 3 different times prior to this week.
Yes.
And he's yet to have a perfect week, going 5 for 5. This week, Ian started off with a correct answer on Monday. Then moved to Tuesday, had another correct answer. Got it right again on Wednesday.
Yep.
And then yesterday was able to get it right yet again. So he is 4 for 4 this week.
Yes. Feels
We
good.
have an opportunity to do something that has not been done.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's been basically since the fall of 2023 that you've been part of this show.
Oh, yeah.
We moved into this building in the fall of 2023. And so that was like, I think either late September or early October, somewhere in that time frame. So you've been doing this for about, 16, well, actually 3 months, about 18, 19 months, somewhere, a year and a half. And we've never had a perfect week.
Nope.
We had 1 week earlier this year. In fact, it was a week I was sick. So Bob Look actually was giving you the questions at the end of the week. And you had 4 out of 4, but then could not get it right on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So now we get another
chance.
Another chance to do it. And coming up at 9:55, 9:56 or so, we will give you the number for the day quiz. And during this segment, we always give you the topic.
Yes.
For the number for the day quiz. And the topic today is Giannis Antetokounmpo,
Okay.
Milwaukee Bucks superstar.
Interesting.
So Giannis is the topic today. And,
Okay.
we will have a number involving Giannis coming up at the end of the show.
Very cool.
So are you
Very
excited? Are you ready? Do you feel? Do you have a good
I'm
feeling
excited.
about it? Do you think you're going to do it?
I got a good feeling about this. I think I'm going to get this and finally get that 5 out of 5. But I got to make sure I stay focused and just adjust my gut. Adjust my gut has been working for the last 4 questions. I want to, stick with it today and make sure I keep that hope of winning alive.
Absolutely, and I know a lot of folks are out there hoping you're going to do it today. So that's something to look forward to at the end of the show. So Giannis will be the topic of our number for the day quiz. So
Okay.
look forward to that. And again, I want to also remind us, because you had mentioned earlier that perhaps you would be able to go over and see Enchanted Bookshop musical this weekend. There's 3 different big shows that folks should consider trying to get over and see sometime between tonight and Sunday.
Indeed.
You got Enchanted Bookshop musical over with the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater at UWSP at Wausau's Veniga Theater. Going on tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You have as well over at DC Everest their performing arts presentation of All Shook Up. Chances to see those productions tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday as well. And then at Wausau East, Hadestown Teen Edition. So they're doing those shows as well tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday as well. For specific times, I know that at least 1 or 2 of them, I think, have both matinees and evening performances tomorrow. But to check it out, either check out their Facebook pages. They have information there, or just search it out. And at the end of the show, I'll try to make sure that we are able to get you some information on that. So Hadestown for Wausau East Teen Edition, it is going on tonight. They will have 2 shows then tomorrow, and a matinee on Sunday. So again, a chance for to see that 4 different times in the next 3 days. You have DC Everest performing arts with All Shook Up. My mind freezing there for a moment. All Shook Up is going on tonight at 7 p.m., tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. and then Sunday as well. So great opportunities to see that show. They had their opening night last night for All Shook Up. And then, of course, the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater as well, with Enchanted Bookshop musical. Let's see again what
I know they have a 7 o'clock show tonight, and they have a 2 o'clock and a 7 o'clock for Saturday. I believe they have a matinee show at 2.
Yep. So very good. So great opportunities to see these shows coming up this weekend. So take advantage of that.
Yeah.
In the last segment, we heard a little bit of the sucking up to Donald Trump at his cabinet meeting yesterday. And I came across during our top of the hour newscast another story about this.
Oh, boy.
And talking about how basically the cringing that is going on watching this. And it drew a lot of mockery throughout the country.
Oh, dear.
Cabinet members effusively thanking Trump for his fantastic leadership, his great work, and much, much more. But critics poured scorn on it. And this is a good comparison, and I should have thought of it myself. But the propaganda that was dished out yesterday basically reminded people of authoritarian countries like North Korea, where you'd have dear leader come out there and people would just say, oh, you're just the most incredible person. It reminds me of an old Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns was running for governor.
Oh.
And he went over to the Simpsons house for dinner, and the campaign workers gave cards with questions on them to have like Lisa and Homer and Marge ask questions, but not their own questions, but questions the campaign wanted. And Lisa didn't want to do it, but she had to do it. She goes, Mr. Burns, Your campaign has the momentum of a runaway freight train. What makes you so popular? And he goes, hard question. It was like, it's all make believe.
I remember we actually played that audio on the show.
Yeah. And former Republican Congressman Joe Walsh said that after watching this is so gross. This is a cult. Somebody else said everyone should watch these Trump administration cabinet meetings. Most modern cabinet meetings are more performance than debate or discussion, but this is some North Korea style clapping and weeping for dear leader humiliation all around. I mean, Trump tanked the economy and his followers love it. Trump takes the economy and his cabinet kisses his rear end in a King's Court style meeting. Yes, it's a cult. Did you all see the open portion of the cabinet meeting, which required each secretary to openly kiss Trump's bleep? Our allies and adversaries see Trump for this vain, inept, fragile, vindictive man. They see this embarrassment. Imagine what it's like working for that man. Someone else says nothing in history has ever been weirder than the praise train that during Trump's cabinet meetings. He is always quiet during them. That's when he absorbs all the bleep kissing. Have others praise this president? Sure, but nothing like a Trump meeting. Every member is committed to kissing the rear end of the felonious president at the beginning of every cabinet meeting. Trump first requires it. There is no way this is a real cabinet meeting. Each cabinet member is just saying things Trump wants to hear. It reminds me of North Korea. This Trump cabinet meeting is more mortification for the nation. I can see why Trump is so big on North Korea. I mean, that's craziness. I mean, and the fact that this guy needs this, he needs this every time.
Verification, but like he doesn't have enough already.
But I mean, it doesn't. The only people that enjoy this are the people that love him already. It's one of those situations where it doesn't do him really any good for anybody outside the small group that is MAGA all the way. So, I mean, just craziness.
Yeah.
It's almost comedy watching it, to be honest with you. I mean, I just laugh at it because,
Seriously,
these folks can't believe everything they're saying, can they? I don't know. But Donald got his stroking yesterday, so maybe he's feeling better this Friday morning. The time is 9:18. We'll be right back. More to come here on 98.9 WXCO.
Will you ever come again? Sweet skin, soft and white. Lose ourselves within the night. nothing but a dreamer. Can you put your hands in your head? Oh no. I said, Father, what a day, a year, a life it is. You know, well you know, you had it coming to you. Now there's not a lot I can do. Dreamer, stupid little dreamer.
And welcome back. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app and YouTube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel as well. It is Friday morning. The sun is shining. A beautiful start heading towards the weekend, and Mr. Sunshine himself.
I brought it with me.
You did bring it with you. Paul Michlig, Newman Catholic High School head track and field coach, football coach, athletic director, man of many jobs. Always good to see you. You weren't with us last week because you were off on a road trip.
Yeah, going to the football clinic.
Did you learn anything? Or did you teach?
No, I always learn. And sometimes you those connections, and you got games and things like that. So we end up getting, because of the situation. So talking to so we'll be going to Florence that first week.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, interesting.
So we'll be going to Florence that.
You got to send me the schedule.
Well, I couldn't send it to you because we were kind of up in the air.
Well, now do you know?
Well, now we know. Now we know.
But you got an award. I know you're so shy about these kind of things, but you got a Coach of the Year award.
A regional one, yeah.
Which is still a Coach of the Year award.
Yeah.
No, congratulations. Well deserved. It really is well deserved. I mean, you've done a fantastic job over at Newman, but often at those events down in Madison, sometimes like some famous folks come by. Did anybody was like?
Yeah, I mean, Gilbert Brown was there, and Santana Dotson talked, and
Gilbert
and
bring some Gilbert burgers or anything like that.
No, he didn't. I ran into him one time in Green Bay, and literally almost ran into him at the mall.
Miss.
Yeah, hard to miss. I turned and I was like, "Hey, Gilbert," and that was that. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously you got the whole Badger staff there, and you had Northern Illinois staff there, and you had so you have, I mean, I guess if you want to say famous or whatever, yeah, there's a lot of people there.
Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame last year.
Correct, and they
come in and have a presentation how they did that.
Yeah,
you can tell Sully all about it.
They brought their whole staff. I mean, and they're excited for it, and it's really good. It's just a lot of time, I mean, I've
been at events for radio that where you for lack of a better term, you talk a little shop, just kind of pick the brains of different people. You have an opportunity, as you say, to maybe think of things a little differently. And then because sometimes you get so deep into what you do and you talk to the same folks within your staff, and sometimes it's just good to, maybe get an idea too. Cause I feel the same way, in terms of what I do. So I imagine that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
especially this time of year where it's like,
Yeah, but it was a good time of year, and and sometimes it's not even that you need to change anything or you have to change anything. It's that it reinforces, maybe that what you're doing is correct, and what you're and maybe stick to doing that, or I think more of that than anything, because every coaching situation is unique, because it doesn't matter if you're at West or Everest, or you have different situations, issues, and if it's from coaching, what kind of kids, how many kids, what the numbers are for marathon, the same problems are not at every spot. And when I say problems, I shouldn't say that because that's a negative word, but that's why I call it unique. Challenges. There's a good word for it. Every school has different challenges, and every job and every sport have different challenges. And that's how you got to look at it. So when you go down there, you're listening, seeing what their challenges are, how it fits into yours, and maybe if it does or does not, and you got to make a change here. And then you talk about offensively, defensively. But a lot of that stuff is, when you go there, and you know it too, it's not just about the X's and O's too. It's about how you get the Jimmy and Joes better, number one, and how do you put the team aspect in there, and they always bring in some good speakers talking about leadership and building the team and things like that. So you're talking about it's a wide gap. I mean, Wisconsin for football, WFCA, not that I'm trying to promote it right here, but it's probably one of the best clinics in the nation for any sport.
You're in the midst now of spring sports, but it's really not that far off, is it? When you think about it, it's like time flies right now in my life, I tell you. And as you get older, I'm sure it's probably the same, because I always, when I see some of the kids around, I say, man, you just soak it in, because boy, I remember back when I was in high school, it felt like it took forever to get through every year. Nowadays, it clicks on by, and it's like
it does.
And it's like we were talking, because every day in our last segment we say what day of the year it is, and we're now up to triple digits in 2025, which is hard to believe. It just feels like it just started, but you'll be doing that. But how is the spring going? How is the track and field going? Is it obviously it's you back in it as coaching, and you're always very competitive. It's been so far so good for spring sports, for track and field.
I mean, for track, everything has been. Last night we had a girls' meet at West, and I said it last time, I think, or a couple times ago when I was here.
But you're outdoors now, right?
No.
Oh, you're still indoors. Okay.
We're tonight. We're indoors, and actually the Wisconsin Valley Conference indoors next Tuesday for them, and so we will try to. Actually, this morning I picked it up as I was working on something that we're gonna go Wild Rose on Tuesday. But if you look at the weather, we're supposed to have obviously baseball and softball on Monday and Tuesday against Stratford, and 50 degrees on Monday. But winds are 20 to 30 miles an hour. So and some rain. Okay, so that's not the most enjoyable thing. And then Tuesday is about 50, and the winds are only 10 to 20. It's always something. So today, when you get a day like today, you got to enjoy it.
Yeah, Tuesday I'm going to Sunnyvale for the Newman softball game, and that wind, it's like sometimes my table blows, as you well know. It's happened.
They don't let you up in the booth up there? Isn't there a booth at Sunnyvale?
There is a booth, but I'm always outside. I don't like being there. That's a very tight booth.
I don't like that.
I don't like that booth. I don't like it. So, but I hear there's going to be a nice new booth at football field, so that'll be nice. Big, right?
And before we go, so we can wrap this up, you going to branch on that?
I'm going to we'll briefly touch on it right after the break. So we'll come back with Paul Michlig. We have an information update coming up. 9:29 is the time. The sun is shining. 40 degrees here in downtown Wausau. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
Life is so strange when you don't know how can you tell where you're going to. You can't be sure of any situation. Something could change, and then you won't know. Where do we go from here? It seems so near, just as far beyond as I can see. I still don't know what this all means to me. I have nowhere to go. I don't know what to do. And I don't even know the time of day. I guess it doesn't matter anyway.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app with Paul Michlig. And tomorrow night, and I actually mentioned this a little earlier with Ian, because there's a lot of great events going on through central Wisconsin. I said, well, I'm kind of busy this weekend. I got a game this afternoon, and I have a game tomorrow, early afternoon. And then tomorrow night, got the Cabin Fever, and that's always a terrific event over at Newman Catholic. It's always this time of year. It actually seems like a little bit later this year than normal, but it's always around early April, and it's basically one of the biggest fundraiser for Newman Catholic Athletics, but there's a lot of great stuff involved in it. It's a lot of fun for a Saturday evening. I thought maybe I'm obviously going to be there, which is reason enough for everybody to stop on by tomorrow night, but there's a lot going on. Great food, great entertainment, and really some cool silent auction items that
good music. You said good music, right? I think you did.
And
night shift, I believe it is. And
I mean, just real and
they're getting pretty big in the middle. And there's good food. This year we got luckily some of the Mexican restaurants in the Wausau area have with the food, and it's going to be fantastic. So it's a little change from the past, and we're excited to have all that. So it's food, drinking, and great music, and like I said, some silent auction stuff, some raffles, things that will be going on during that time. And so we're excited for it to have it tomorrow. It is about probably a week. They tried to move it back a little bit because usually it was like the week after spring break, and so we're trying to get a little breathing room there. And there's
so much that goes on this time of year, because I was talking to somebody about like scheduling of different, like, well, we have like 3 different theatrical productions this weekend, because obviously next week it's Easter, then a lot of spring break. So everything is kind of, because I was saying, wow, you shouldn't have all 3 of these on the same weekend because people want to go and see it. But really, there's not a lot of wiggle room this time of year.
No, I mean, if after Easter, you're talking about I think it's one weekend left in April.
You're thinking about graduation.
May. Yep, and then we're on to the next thing. So it does go fast. But
what should people know if they were interested in coming out tomorrow? Because again, I've been part of it for many years. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great folks there. What should people know about if they want to come out and, number one, be part of a great event, and number 2, perhaps just aid in terms of for the student athletes at Newman Catholic?
Yeah, with it being the booster club, everything that goes through athletics wise, if we did not have the booster club, they would not be athletics. We try to keep that. Anything that is needed, from jerseys to equipment, to
travel,
some travel,
because you have some long treks. You're going to Florence.
yes, yeah.
You don't want to be hitching to Florence, that's for sure.
No. We're I think we're gonna leave tonight yet to ready for that. But so that does a lot of stuff for the booster club to offset athletics and making sure that's viable, and making sure those kids get an opportunity and experience that they can remember for the rest of their life. So tomorrow night starts at 7:00, $30 a ticket. But if you think about that,
all you can eat, all you can drink,
and music, you can't really beat that.
Oh man, that's a huge deal. It was one of the silent auctions, a chance to like be your assistant coach
Yeah. Well, there's something coach of the days kind of things. Yes. So
Well, we got to be able to call a few plays. You know.
well, I should be charging you every time then, because I think on the mic you're always critiquing.
I tell you, it's like, so easy up there. It's very easy up there, but no, it really is. It's a lot of fun, and I'm always happy to help come out and help announce some of it. And so if you're out there, if you want to have a good time tomorrow night, stop by. It's right at the Newman Catholic High School.
It's right
gym.
in the Newman Catholic School gym, 7:00, and music will start fairly quick right after that. They'll be there for, I want to say it's about till 10. They will be playing, and again, one of the up and coming groups in the area, and we were lucky we got them and booked in so they can have us.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit of sports here. I mean, that Bucks comeback the other night, and I have to admit, I wasn't watching it. I was not in front of the TV at that point, but to come back from 24 down and to win that game, not against a bad team either, a Minnesota team that was actually hot going into that game. They had a chance, I think, to move into fourth place in the West if they had won that game. Now the Bucks have won 6 in a row, and obviously the Minnesota game I thought was a good win, but they played New Orleans twice, and I mean it's there are times in the year where the schedule's harder, maybe not as hard, but still that's the kind of game I would think would be a spark plug going into the postseason.
I do think the schedule has been different, it looked like it would have been tougher on paper,
right.
But some of those situations where some guys were out for other teams and things like that, and they're tanking and so forth.
Not that they're not trying. Again, the guys out there, they don't care about tanking, but they just don't have they put out players that may not be at quite the same level. Because I think people sometimes, they're not trying to. No, everybody out there is trying to win because they have careers they're trying to save.
Correct. I mean, New Orleans, I thought, was better.
They actually battled twice,
I thought they did, and why wouldn't they? Those guys are
trying to save their
fighting
career.
for a job, trying to get a job for next year and trying to get a livelihood. That was a good win against Minnesota. Minnesota was really, I think they actually have a better record, or they were tied with the record at the time. So it wasn't like we're playing, and they had everybody, and they needed that win.
Yes, they did.
And I thought the Bucks had the spark, but again, all this whole time, we also haven't had Portis until that game.
Right.
Giannis has sat out a few of those games.
Right.
Lillard's been out quite a bit of those games now. AJ Green was out of those, so it wasn't like we had all our team either during this course of the time. So
but the thing is, they never have all their team nowadays. When is the last time they had all their team? It's like, really, you think about it for such a long time that maybe, it would be very interesting to know how many times this season they had their full team available.
Yeah, you can't even count Milton too. So if you go back to that trade,
right?
It doesn't. I will say is that they made a big deal about Giannis being with 4 sub guys, and 2 of them are Portis and Porter. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, those guys actually are better than Rollins, and he should be in there.
Those guys are 20-point a game nights. 20-point a game guys when they're playing well.
And they're going to need them to be 20-point in the playoffs. Right. I think, especially if Dame is not there.
Oh, yeah.
Porter has to be that. And you're talking about, so you got AJ Green, too, needs to get hot. They need to have him get hot. And he hit a couple big threes during the 23-0 run against Minnesota. And one was from, honestly, it was like from half court when he pulled up. So you have to have that. I think that's their best team, to be honest with you.
Spread them out, huh?
When they had those guys in there, that group, I forgot who Gary Trent Jr.
Yeah,
that's a good group. They all can shoot. They can all do things defensively. I thought that was better. They're better defensively with that group in there.
You gave Doc big credit.
He changed it. He went to his own.
I tell you, it's like
I did that purposely for you.
I know you did, because I think Doc's sitting there grabbing a paycheck every time, every week, every couple of weeks, and he actually did something.
He changed. He went to his own. And Porter had like 4 steals, I think, in the fourth quarter, and they're big steals. If they don't have an opportunity to shoot, these NBA guys are going to shoot. They're going to be hit shots.
It's incredible how good they are. I don't think people realize how good they are.
Yes.
It's like, and not even just the starters. These guys are really good, and I have to give you credit that the Porter deal has been huge for them.
It's I think, which ironically, the Kyle Kuzma trade with Middleton, it's not going to help. I don't think like as much off like for the team this year, but it helps them to get below that salary off
to give them some maneuverability in the offseason.
Yes. So that's where that one helped. That Porter one, that was a steal.
Yep.
That was a steal.
Gave up nothing. Nothing.
For that guy is going to be that guy can be an all-star. He literally can be an all-star.
He could, and he could be the difference in a series in the first round. I mean, he really could be. I mean, he could be that difference maker. Actually, I find tonight and Sunday very interesting. These Detroit games. I'm curious to how these games go because these are going to be playoff level games because Detroit knows they have to win both. And obviously, if they win tonight, I mean, tonight's in Detroit, so that'll be the harder of the two. And then it could literally be for that seeding. And you don't want to play. Well, again, you got Indiana's won 6 in a row. They're playing great, and they're within a game of the Knicks, so we don't really know.
And they played, and they beat, and I don't know if Cleveland had everybody last night. They just beat Cleveland last night.
Yes. I mean, exactly. So I'm not.
And Detroit beat the Knicks,
right? So it's like, what do you want here? But I mean, I think those two series, the 3-6 and the 4-5 are going to be very interesting.
I don't think we match up as well with the Knicks as we do with the Pacers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's the only thing that I would say. They always say, "Be careful what you wish for," but I think it's just a better matchup.
But I am curious to see how they play against Detroit because this is kind of the feel that you're going to have. I mean, you got to beat these kind of teams at some point. That's the way it is. And if you lose these two games, that would be a bad taste going into whoever they play in the playoffs.
They're not going to lose both of these games.
All right. Well, we'll see.
They're not going to lose both of these games.
We'll see.
You think they're going to lose both of these games?
I'm not saying they are, but
you got to say something. You can't just be in the middle here.
I would not be shocked if they did. I mean, again, I'm not willing to say the 6-game win streak is the turnaround because they did beat Minnesota, but that was still a game where they were down by 24 points going into the fourth quarter. I mean, so it's like there are still some holes in this team.
Well, Dante was like on fire there for a while. The one thing about all sports is averages usually come back to life.
Yeah, that's true.
So they go from, because he was like 5 for 5 or something and threes in the first 3 quarters, and he came back down to earth in the fourth quarter a little bit. He missed a couple threes. I think he hit one. So that it's all going to average out. I just don't see that them losing at home to Detroit on Sunday.
I don't think they're winning tonight. I'll say that for sure. I think they're going to go to Sunday. So, and then we'll see.
And the question is, do the Bucks try? Because they had a game last night. Do they put all their apples into?
They got a week between Sunday and then the start of the playoffs. I mean, come on. Enough of the rest. It's time to get to work.
I will say this: they've had a lot of games in a row.
But they still have a week between. I mean, you don't say Sunday we're going to just rest people. Give me a break. Come on.
Well, if they win tonight?
Oh, if they win tonight, yeah. Then if they win tonight, yeah, you're right.
I'm talking about. Okay. Do they put all their apples and everything into their eggs into Sunday?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And rest those guys because they played that last night.
I know what you're saying.
Are we sure Giannis is going to play tonight? I mean, I know that he's going to, but
I think you gotta
because he didn't play that many minutes last night.
Play tonight. I mean, we're getting really. You gotta play him tonight. You can't do that.
I know in the real world, but I'm just saying is that they just sat him last week against New Orleans after the Miami game.
Okay, let's real quickly. Let's for argument's sake say that they do. Say, okay, Giannis, you're gonna sit. We're gonna sit. Maybe another player or two, and then they lose by 40 tonight. That's not a good way to go into Sunday either. I don't think.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying at all.
All right,
I 100% agree. I think they should try to go win tonight and then then relax on Sunday.
Then you can relax on Sunday because you're exactly right.
And that's why I'm saying is they're going to win tonight.
All right.
Book it, mark it down. They're winning tonight.
They're not winning tonight.
100%.
We'll see.
Just have to wait and see.
KPJ. That's all I'm going to say. KPJ.
If they do, I will give you a total credit next Friday. So I will say that. So.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will. I will. I promise you I will. Heck, I'll make it on the mic tomorrow.
I'll say tomorrow night you can say that. Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see you then.
Thanks, Chad. And you guys, everybody have a great weekend.
Back with the final segment next. And welcome back. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO. WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. Day number 101 of this year. It is the 11th day of April 2025, 101 days into this year, 264 days remaining, and some famous events have occurred on this date in history. 1865, Abraham Lincoln made his last public speech. On this date in 1868, U.S. Army Commander Ulysses S. Grant was stopped for speeding in his horse-drawn buggy. 3 months later, he was stopped again and fined $5. On this date in 1970, Apollo 13 launched. And, of course, it turned into a famous movie.
Yes,
Because
it
that was
did.
a very scary flight back for those astronauts. On this date in 1981, 12 days after he was wounded in an assassination attempt, President Ronald Reagan returned to the White House. On this date in 2015, President Barack Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro met at the Summit of the Americas in Panama for talks aimed at thawing relations. The historic meeting marked the first interaction in decades between top leaders of the two nations. On this date in 2020, Farm Aid was held virtually during the pandemic. Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, Neil Young, Dave Matthews, Bonnie Raitt, and many others all did it from home virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And on this date in 2021, 20-year-old Dante Wright was shot and killed at a traffic stop by a police officer in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, who says they mistook their gun for a taser. Some famous folks are celebrating birthdays today. Actor Louise Lasser is 86 years old today. British TV personality Jeremy Clarkson is 65. Actor Jennifer Esposito is 52. Model and actress Alessandra Ambrosio is 44. Kelly Garner is 41. And Joss Stone is 38. If you out there celebrating your birthday, happy birthday from all of us at 98.9 WXCO.
Happy birthday.
Some special events today. It is Barbershop Quartet Day. It is Pet Day. It is Louie Day. It is Cheese Fondue Day. It is 8-track tape day. It is Library Workers Day. It is Submarine Day. It is World Parkinson's Disease Day. So those are the special events being acknowledged today. All right.
Okay.
It is time.
It's happening.
It is happening. It is time to see if Ian Welsh can make a little history today. Make it 5 out of 5 with our number for the day quiz. He's never done it. We've been doing this for about 18 months, and he has yet to have that perfect week. His best has been 4 right in a week, 4 out of 5 3 times, and he is 4 for 4 now this week.
Oh,
do you remember what the topic was for our number for the day quiz?
Giannis.
Giannis.
The one and only Giannis.
The one and only Giannis. If the NBA playoffs begun today, the Bucks would play the Indiana Pacers in the first round of the playoffs. But you don't know that's going to be for sure. But if it occurs that way, it would be the Bucks and the Pacers for the second year in a row in the first round of the playoffs. But the Giannis has had many big games against Indiana in his career. In fact, I think he's had more big games against Indiana than any other team that they faced. But your number for the day today is, in Giannis's storied NBA career, what is the most points that Giannis has scored in any game? And it occurred back on December the 13th of 2023 against the Indiana Pacers. So
2 years ago. Okay.
So, yep. Giannis scored how many points, his career high against the Pacers on December 13th, 2023?
Okay, yeah, what are my choices?
All right. What are your choices? Is the correct answer 54 points? Is the correct answer 64 points?
Okay.
Is the correct answer 74 points? So Giannis, in his NBA career, has had many big games, but the biggest game for scoring occurred on December 13th, 2023. How many points did Giannis score that night against the Indiana Pacers? 54 points, 64 points, or 74 points?
Oh, I'm starting to get that feeling in my stomach again. I'm getting really anxious. Okay. 54, 64, 74. This is a game that happened 2 years ago around December. He said it was an all-time record he did?
That was for his career. He's been in the
His
NBA
career.
12 years. He has never scored more points than that night.
Okay. Going with my gut has worked out well. So far, I'm going to stick with it. So I'm going to say, okay. All right, my final guess is I'm going to say a B. I'm going to say 64 points. My final answer. I did end the week. I'll go with the middle number. Final answer.
Giannis put up his most points in a game versus the Indiana Pacers on December 13th, 2023 with 64 points.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
You did it.
Oh my gosh,
You
it feels so
did
good.
it. 5 out of 5 this week.
I finally got that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Congratulations. I wasn't
Thanks,
sure
Chad.
you'd ever do it, but you
My
did it.
gosh.
5 out of 5. Congratulations. Great way to go into the weekend.
Absolutely. A beautiful weekend. Happy Friday, everybody.
We'll
Enjoy
try.
the beautiful
Hey,
weekend.
now you got to do it again next week.
Yeah. That's
We'll-
a true challenge.
We'll see you Monday here on WXCO.
Some of the